Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pilots of all ages, welcome to the third week of Kings of the Arena, brought to you by the Forge League. Now, Hammers are our reigning team, and so far, having played 15 games in their first week and 16 in the week after that, they have only lost one game. That is one match in 31 games total. That's a pretty incredible feat. And today we have no shortage of teams that want to defeat Hammers for that crown. I am your host, Sapphire Sky, and with me today is a very special guest whom is dear to my heart. Pilots, spam some rockets in chat and give a warm welcome to Imperium. How are you, buddy?
What is up? I'm pretty damn good. Yeah, of course. Sean Ostino unfortunately can't make it tonight, so I got asked if I could fill in. My absolute pleasure. I do love casting a bit of Armajet action, and of course playing the game when I do get a chance, and of course to be able to work with you, Sapphire, is
Definitely
also a bit special for me.
It's our first, well, not technically our first, but it's I think our second time that we are together bringing some awesome tournament experiences to you guys. So Sean is actually visiting family in LA, so make sure that you stop by his Twitter and say hello. But today we do have, sorry about that, we have Hammers Esports going up against FieryTale first. And then we also have appearances being made by 4Elements and Skyrose Gaming. Now, this is a gauntlet-style type of game in which Hammers Esports, which are reigning kings, go up against FieryTale. And if they beat FieryTale in the best-of-5 series, they move on to fight up against 4Elements. And if they happen to also conquer 4Elements, then they move on and compete against Skyrose Gaming. That is pretty likely to happen, but I don't know. I feel that FieryTale is a good, strong team to go up against.
Well, you know, never say never, right? It's not over until the timer ticks down, till those scoreboards,
the last few seconds
get
up
up
really
to,
make it
it's the last few seconds, and FieryTale definitely are going to have a tough game, a tough series against Hammers. One, because it is their first foray, or it's their foray back into Armajet at least. They have a new roster, a new set of players ready to conquer the mighty Hammers Esports, but it's going to be a very tough job. And one thing that's kind of with this gauntlet style format is that any team that whoever wins and goes on to face the next team, it's that certain endurance that is needed to get the better of your opponents. You've really got to be strong enough mentally to stay in the game, to stay in the battle, and of course to be able to get the kills onto your opponents.
Definitely. So we do have our team getting ready. We are going to be going up in Magma. That is going to be our first map, and I'm expecting it to be a lot of close quarter combat. I think the Havoc is a great weapon to use here, along with the Venom, and perhaps we'll make some appearances by the Ripper. Not too sure if Copters is playing, but I know he's been trying out a lot of new weapons, and he usually plays outside of the meta. Have you joined up, by the way, Imperium?
Yeah, of course. I'm in the spectator slot, waiting for these players to join. Now I will give everybody in the chat a bit of word of warning. I'm not very highly up on the technical aspects of Armajet, so I'm going to do my best to bring the high level of kind of entertainment, the hype, the interesting moments, to be able to tell the story. Of course. So only I can bring that, and then of course Sapphire will be there to provide the technical information, as well as of course play the host, play the part that is very much needed. So looking at this Hammers roster, we've seen them before. We've seen them kind of come out. They have the roster of LCF, Billy the Kid, Devoted, Duck, and Copters. And then on the side of FieryTale Sapphire, we have Ion Flash X, Noodle Block, Vipensity, Yobot, and Trumpkin.
Now, I know FieryTale is definitely a very promising team that they're still working on their kinks, so they do have quite a few other tournaments to play that they haven't played yesterday. They have, I think, another one after this. So I wonder if mentally they are prepared to go up a team against Hammers with the likes of them. They are a very promising team. You have Propensity, and you also have Yobot. Those two players tend to be closer to the top of the leaderboards, but you cannot leave out also. Oh my god, my mind just went blank. Okay, I got the wrong link. Give me a second. You do have Trumpkin, who's also very new. Now, Ion Flash, he's a mastermind. He is just incredible when it comes to strategy. So I feel like this team is actually a great team to go up against Hammers, but I do feel that they might be a little bit tired and then having to prepare for other tournaments throughout the day as well. I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit daunting, something to carry the player, you know.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate on that and actually say that being able to warm up and play in scrims and tournaments before this really prepares you a bit more. It's like when you're gonna play a match, you train, you warm up before the match starts. It's that kind of preparation that I believe will actually really help FieryTale get into swinging things and come out swinging against Hammers Esports, because I kind of think that's what they're going to have to do with the experience and the synergy and the team play and the aggressive style that I've personally seen from the side of Hammers in the past. FieryTale, they're going to have to fight fire with fire, no pun intended. And they're going to have to come at Hammers super strong. They're going to really have to put them under a lot of pressure and give them no breathing space, because you know, with these top teams, when you give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile, Sapphire, and that's what Hammers will do if they get it.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree 100%. I know FieryTale is a great team to go up against with Hammers, but Hammers Esports right now, they're pretty much riding a wave. I think they have this energy, they have this synergy, although I know that Lucas isn't going to be playing, and I know he and Elsif together make an incredible team. Now, Hammers Esports, they are our reigning champions, and they have been for the last 2 weeks. This is the first appearance that FieryTale makes on this tournament. So it's pretty exciting. We are still waiting for players to get into the lobby. I think we're just waiting for one more. And Yobot and Tremkin, those are the most newest players. So I feel like the synergy quite isn't still there yet. It's still a little bit lacking. So for these matches, I'm actually going to side on the side of Hammers, simply because they do have that experience, and I feel like going fresh into this tournament is something that's definitely on their side. Now we are about to start, so Imperium, it's all yours, and take it away.
Yeah, of course. While we are just about to get started, guys, if you do want to put exclamation mark, clip it when you do clip a scene, clip a little bit of action, and you send it over to the guys over in the Forge League. There is 100 Paragon up for grabs, so feel free to get that juicy action going away. But either way, 2 kills apiece between these two teams in the first 30 seconds or so. We're seeing Billy the Kid being put under a lot of pressure. He gets taken out. 4-3 over inside of FieryTale. They are not giving Hammers too much of a chance in the start. Hammers are just starting to warm up, Sapphire.
Definitely. I do feel that Hammers has to be a little bit more aggressive than this, and then FieryTale has to be sure to not make any mistakes, because Hammers will definitely capitalize on that. Trumpkin just picked up the double damage, and he, well, unfortunately hasn't lost it yet, so you definitely want to be taking him out.
Vipensity to get taken out by Copters right now, as we do see double damage to get picked up by Nullbuck after being taken away, but Yoba does pick it up. This is 11 each between these two teams. Vipensity is just trying to duck, dodge, dip, dive, and dodge around these shots coming out from Hammers Esports. It does seem that Hammers have really started to control this game a bit more compared to the start. They're really rotating nicely from the left side to the right side of the map. Little bit of damage being taken over the side of Devoted, but he returns the favor as Vipensity and Trunkin gets taken out. Hammers Esports are 16-12. They're suddenly falling short.
Definitely falling behind just a little bit. It seems like they have lost their footing, and Hammers is able to capitalize on those types of mistakes. Now, I know Devoted just got shot in the face by Nuddleblock. That must have not felt pretty good at all. But, you know, Devoted comes around, takes on Trumpkin, Intensity takes on Copters. You know, this is a lot of back and forth, but fortunately for Hammers, they are taking the lead, and they are winning, and they're ahead by 6, and there's a minute left in the game.
Yeah, minute left, 24-15. This is Hammer starting to steamroll it forward now. It feels like FieryTale have lost all the fuel that was powering them in this first game. Maybe you're dead right, Sapphire. Maybe they have felt a bit tired from playing earlier on, but when you're going up against Hammers, as I said, you've got to be on top of your game every single second, every single moment. And this is Hammers in this game one. It is a best of 5 series with 30 seconds to go. They too take the win in this game one.
Great game, though. Definitely in the beginning, we saw a lot of back and forth action that was definitely unexpected. I really didn't expect this from FieryTale. I thought they were going to be hanging out a little bit more, playing a little bit more cautiously in the beginning, but no, they definitely, made Hammers run for their money. I mean, this is definitely the FieryTale that we want to show.
Yeah, no, that was a really impressive FieryTale at the start, that they put Hammers under a bit more pressure. Mm-hmm. They had, 4-point lead.
It was definitely a lot of back and forth action, definitely, especially at the beginning.
I was expecting it to be a bit more one-sided, but credit where credit is due. FieryTale did what I kind of said they had to do. They came out of the room swinging. They went into this map going in hard, but this is going to be new game, new map, Sapphire. So it requires also a different play style.
Correct.
With this new map, because you want to be able to dive behind the nooks and crannies a bit more, use the levels that you have to your advantage, and of course with that double damage being occupied in such a small little laneway, when you get it, you damn sure better be able to make use of it right off the start.
So definitely Temple is a very open, a lot of nooks and crevices that you can actually go and hide behind, but as long as you don't fall off the edges, there's some buried treasure, rumor has it, so that if you can go and find it, it's just, who knows if it exists, right? But you definitely don't want to fall off of the edge. You want to play around the center. Mostly with this type of play style, teams usually start at the top and they move their way down as the game progresses. This map is great for longer distance weapons that can keep your enemy at bay. I am expecting to see a lot of Black Tusk action. We do see the Thunderstorm, but I feel like the Thunderstorm right now is a little bit overpowered, but we will see how this game goes, and in 5 seconds it is all yours, Imperium, so take it away.
Yeah, let's get this second game on the road. Okay, I personally seem to have a bit of a
What's going on?
I'm not in the game.
You're not in the game. Did you get an invite? Okay, so we are definitely
No, I did, and then I got kicked.
Oh, so Hammers is taking the lead 4-0. We are seeing Black Tusk coming out. I believe that is a Locust. Also that U-Bot has. My eyesight is terrible, folks. Devoted just took out Vipensity, and Hammers is taking the lead 7-0. This is 8-0 now. This is definitely not going well for FieryTale. So maybe perhaps this map is a little bit too open for them. And as I did say earlier, there we go. Vipensity finally lands a kill on Billy the Kid. Imperium, were you able to join in?
No, I'm trying to join it. The game is being a little bit buggy. You just keep on going away.
Okay.
Just keep on plugging away, doing what you do.
Go ahead and use the room key that was provided in chat. Now we have Hammers Esports definitely 14-2 and under 2 minutes left. I don't know how I feel about this. I know FieryTale seems to be caught off guard constantly. The teams are separated, fighting on both sides, and Hammers Esports is concentrating and staying in the middle. 16-5, 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Nuddleblock and Vipensity end up taking out Copters and Billy the Kid. But still, it's not enough. They really have to come out swinging. I feel that maybe they're using the wrong weapons right now. There's a little bit more of a scattered gameplay going on the side of FieryTales. So 1 minute and 20 seconds left, and Hammers is in definite lead, 21-7.
What have I come into? This is Hammers just absolutely dominating this game, as you have correctly pointed out. The score says it all. We are seeing a bit of a return fire coming out from FieryTale. Their positioning is generally pretty decent, and they're trying to soak up the damage that Hammers are dealing out. But when you are so far ahead and you have that level of control, you see the fact that Hammers are just pushing FieryTale from the left to the right side, putting them into a corner. and giving them absolutely nowhere to go. And they're going to do the exact same as we are, 28-10 with 40 seconds to go. This is just a bit of a rumpus coming out as round is over. Hammers,
over.
yeah.
Hammers.
Yeah, Hammers.
Wow. I feel like they definitely knew who they needed to take out, and they took out Vipensity. She ended up getting 10 deaths this game. Now, I'm wondering if there's just probably a little lack of practice, perhaps. I did get a couple of words in from Oddfish, and he pretty much told me that the team is a little bit more lax when it comes to practice. Does not mean that he isn't strong and he isn't stern on them, but he does respect their real lives and things. So I don't know. I feel like maybe they just need a little bit more practice on this map. It's definitely not their strong suit. And I feel that Vipensity probably should have been a little bit more protected, but Hammers Esports knew who to take out and when, as she was most often than not caught off guard a lot of the time, separated from her team.
Yeah, and look, it is hard for FieryTale. We kind of predicted that this was going to be the case, right? Sapphire, that, when you compare the two sides, FieryTale are new. The players individually have a lot of skill and a lot of potential, but this is a team game. It's not solo. It's not 1v1. Correct. There's a certain element of 1v1 about it, but when you're playing as a team, especially a four-man team, you've got to have the positioning right. You got to be able to soak up the damage. You got to be able to share the movement, and of course, be able to use that team advantage to pick up the double damage, to pick up the invisibility, and of course, push on forward when you get that chance and really just put your opponents into the corner.
Now this map that we have, Canyon, it's a little bit more close quarter. It's still there's a few spaces though that are very open, so I do expect to see a lot of long claw havoc action here. And then you definitely want to have those weapons be more of a back line kind of support weapon, giving the frontliners a lot of time to go out and pick off enemies. Now we are 5 seconds away, so Imperium, take it away. It's all yours.
I'm okay. I'm getting a bug where I'm getting invited to the game, but I'm not actually in the game. It's actually really annoying.
So this is surprising. Elsif is the first person to drop in game within 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds of the match, and this is neck to neck action. So now Hammers Esports is taking the lead by 3-2, but still very, very close, and it can be anyone's game.
It can be anyone's game indeed, as we are just return fire 43. It's just kind of trading blows right now. Nice to see that FieryTale are generally keeping in it for now, but that rocket launcher is just coming out on top for Devoted. So accurate, taking out player after player on the side of FieryTale, connecting time after time.
Jetpack kill almost went to
Sapphire is they're using the range and the openness of the map to allow the rocket launcher to really do a lot of damage and to be accurate in what it does.
Oh, and Vipensity takes Copters away, not giving him any more chance to be using that long claw because he was able to get 2 kills off of FieryTale. And Hammers, less than 2 minutes to go, is in the lead by 4 points, 5 points now, 15-10. So Billy the Kid has picked up the double damage, and he has the airstrike as an ultimate. So it does take away Trumpkin. Fortunately, came out twice.
It's still only 6 kills. It's far from down and out. Yeah, there's a minute and a half, but FieryTale, well, okay, they do go down by 5 now, but they're not heavily losing this game compared to what we saw in game 2. In game 1, it was about as close as this at this stage of the game. 19-13, still within 5 to 6 kills, but with the time running out and the fact that it's their only chance left in this series to really put Hammers under a bit of pressure, it is kind of slightly falling apart for them.
I feel like it's a mental game with Hammers. In the first game, they gave it all of their best, and unfortunately that was all that they could do, and it seems that they're pretty much cleaning up this game. Hammers, not such a strong lead from the last game that we saw, but it does seem to be going in high favor for Hammers Esports as they are down pretty much, they are up 9 points. So
and only 5 kills away from closing out this third game, closing out this series and moving on in this Coda
now.
Pro Scramble
Elsif definitely has a double damage, and he is a player that you never want him to allow to pick it up. He is a sheer beast with this, and it is taken away from him, but after getting a few kills for sure. 27 to 19, 10 seconds left.
Yeah, 28, 29. Are they going to be able to close out this round before the timer runs out? I think so.
Yes.
Round is over. Billy the Kid got that last kill on the Vipensity.
Nice gameplay. Definitely not exactly in favor of FieryTale. They did show, actually, they actually did pretty much surprise me anyway, especially in the first and the third game. Their second game, maybe they just need a little bit more practice on open maps to get a little bit more team synergy, as they do have 2 new players joining them. But this is a team with enough preparation and enough push. They can definitely be a force to be reckoned with. As long as they stay together, you know, they keep struggling through it, keep fighting through all of these matches. This is definitely going to be a top team, especially with players like Vipensity. And you do also have Ion as the mastermind of the team. So this team is definitely very promising. And
yeah, 100%.
Alrighty, so up next, we do have... my mind just went blank. 4Elements. 4Elements.
It is 4Elements. Yeah, they have a roster of Doomslayer, Inspiral, Average Guy 777, Noxus, and Thomas the Han. And from what I can tell, and from what we were told on the production side, they have actually gone through some changes in their players. Bringing in Doomslayer for Commander Goat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something new. That's a new face for 4Elements, as well as Noxus as well. He previously played for Tribe. So is an Armajet pilot that has a lot of experience so far.
Definitely. And I do think actually, and please chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I think what actually happened was Goat ended up replacing Doomslayer at the 4Elements tournament, and then in this tournament, Doomslayer is actually playing with his team. I think I might have gotten that information right. I'm not 100% sure. Chat, check for me. But I know that all of this team, they're amazing frontliners. They are great with the Black Tusk. They are going to be using probably Marauders and Enforcers to secure those kills. Average Guy 777, he uses the Havoc. That is usually his main gun, and he is a starter. He is US born, and I'm trying to think. Inspiral is also a great frontliner. He's also a starter. Doomslayer is a frontliner. He uses the Black Tusk in conjunction with the Marauder. And Noxus. I'm surprised that Noxus is here. I see him as a player that has a lot to learn, still in the sense of compatibility with the team that he is playing up against. I feel like he can fill any role. So I'm wondering what role we'll see him fill in this game up against Hammers.
Well, like, he is starting. He's going to be joined by Doomslayer and Spiral and Average Guy 777. And I do remember from casting Armajet previously, Sapphire, that he does pull out some great moments, some great plays, has some overall great positioning in which he can use his accuracy and his ability to his advantage. And I'd like to think that he's only improved since then, since I last saw him cast. And look, at the end of the day, you know, not to sound like a broken record, but Hammers are going to look to put them under pressure. It is going to be a bit of an uphill battle for 4Elements, but I really think, considering what we saw from FieryTale, that are a brand new roster, essentially, that 4Elements, with their experience, with their synergy, that will have been improved compared to FieryTale, that they could put Hammers under a bit more pressure, and we could see a bit of an L going over the Hammers, at least for one of the games.
So we do see the Venom making an appearance by Average Guy 777. Now this is a weapon that is great for closed quarter combat. You see the little balls bounce off of everywhere. So it's great to learn the positioning of where they're going to be shooting from, and if you're able to time it correctly, and if you're able to get the balls to ricochet appropriately, you can do a lot of damage to your enemy team. This is a very I consider it a highly skilled weapon, although you don't need a lot of skill to play it, if that makes sense. Highly skilled in the sense that you do have
I
to
hate
be
to say
aware.
it, Sapphire, but that kind of doesn't really make
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense. Like, anyone can pick up this weapon and can be amazing at it, but if you want to be the best, you have to be completely aware of your surroundings to learn how to really truly take advantage of the little bouncy balls all over the place. You have to really be aware of your map.
Yeah. So to pick up the item and to generally do a solid amount of damage is generally easy, but to master the weapon requires a lot of work and a lot of kind of dedication on really understanding it right.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a great weapon. I like to consider this weapon almost a support weapon and a control weapon in which your team is able to, you're able to basically control the enemy team, where they're going, where they can peep out of. Yeah, exactly. To position them in such a way where your team can then come in and completely take them off.
Exactly. Because that's what some people don't quite understand or don't quite realize about Armajet. There's a much deeper strategy to the game than some people initially think. That when you have the loadouts that match each other and that are balanced, you're able to, as you said, you're able to really position the opponent where the rest of your team is able to wipe them out one by one, moment after moment, and of course overall take that game. So yeah, you have that level of strategy, you have that synergy, and that loadout that's balanced between your players. It will really work out well.
Definitely. Now we are just waiting for a few players to join, and the game should be starting momentarily. So ladies and gentlemen, just a friendly reminder, clip your favorite moments and be sure to upload them to Twitter and tag at the Forgeleague for your chance to win 100 Paragon. So ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and use !clip it for more information. And I think our team, nope, not just yet. We're still waiting on one more from the side of Hammers. So we do have Inspiral Doomslayer, Average Guy, 777, and Noxus.
Like I know Hammers are are looking to go on the long run of winning every single game. But come on, do not don't leave us hanging, Hammers. Do not leave us hanging. You cannot hold on much longer. You've got to get into this game as quickly as possible. Maybe they're playing a couple of mind games with
I was about to say that maybe this is kind of like Copters has finally joined, so this matchup is going to be starting in less than 10 seconds. So Imperium,
finally
take it away.
Finally I'm actually in the game at the right time, so I can't take it away. Once again, we are in the magma map. The fight has begun. We do see 4 Elements start in the middle of the map, but Hammers are coming in strong. Bullets are being fired left, right, and center by Copters, but he gets taken out. This is a 2-0 lead coming over to the side of 4 Elements for the time being in the first 15 seconds, but it's gone straight over to Wander, holding the low ground. 4 Elements are, but you face a risk when there's too many people in the one area that you're going to get taken out. However, they're returning fire 4-3 in the first 30 seconds, Sapphire.
Now it's a tied lead. Hammers just takes it away from that's 6-4, and now taken away from 4 Elements. And I know Copters was using the he's back on the black task, so he was definitely on the Ripper, and I don't think it's going to be able to work for him in this for this map. It's a great weapon, also just like the Venom, to keep your enemies at bay, but I think 4 Elements is definitely on track.
No, I saw it was a great play by Doomslayer to try and pick up the heel, but he got absolutely ripped to shreds. And talk about being ripped to shreds, 4 Elements airstrike out of it. They are 13-8 behind. Hammer just controlling this game. They're dominating. They do have the ultimates has been activated on the side of Elsief. That's essentially giving them a fifth man, so to speak. Doomslayer trying to dive and duck behind that crevice, but does get taken out in the process. 17-9 with a minute and a half to go, Sapphire. It made that 18-9. Just Hammers just racking it up, pushing 4 Elements forward. And this is what we see from Hammers. Time and time again, they'll give their opponents a bit of a chance in the first 30 seconds, so to speak. But the second they get that lead, they just run with it.
It's definitely taking place again, where I see Hammers go ahead like pushing 4 Elements into the corner, picking off every single member, having them respawn at the other side, so it doesn't give the enemy team enough time to cross the map and try to save their teammates. So 23-13, Copters ended up getting Noxus in that one with I think it was the Enforcer here. Doomslayer is out, getting Billy the Kid 25-15, 45 seconds left on that timer, and it can, I don't know, I don't think that 4 Elements has what it takes in this game anymore. I don't know if Hammers actually lets the other team go ahead and take the lead in the first few moments of the game. I think we are probably seeing a weakness on Hammers' part.
Well, just a small weakness, but they take a little bit of time to warm up. Maybe they just kind of go, okay, let's see how our opponents play and how they look to rotate and how they look to position, and then they can dictate their own play. But Hammers Esports, once again, taking this game one in this next best of 5 series as they continue to run on top of the Mountain Sapphire.
So this might be a small weakness, but this is a weakness that I feel that enemy teams have noticed. If I'm able to play... Yeah, so I'm not 100... I'm sorry. If I'm able to notice this weakness, I feel like other teams are probably picking up on it as well. We saw it in the first matchup against FieryTale. That was a very, very promising game. But in the end, I think Hammers probably loses their footing a little bit in the beginning. I don't feel that Hammers is a team that will, take the chance for the other team to secure a lead, a significant lead up against them.
And you know what, I totally agree, and as you recognize, I recognize it as well. However, sometimes for these teams that might not be as synergized, as kind of talented as a team, right? You can get a good start, but that's not going to last for long, because when you're not as strong as a unit, as a 4-man team, your weakness is going to get exposed a little bit earlier, and you're going to break as a team a little bit easier. But when you're stronger, like Hammers are, a weak start isn't the most important thing in the world, because you know that as a team you're stronger, so you're able to get the better of your opponent within the first minute of the game. So it's going to require something really special from an opponent to kind of push Hammers back that little bit more and make them start doubting themselves.
Yeah, definitely agree. Now, I feel that 4 Elements is definitely the team that can, and they have the synergy. They also have the communication style, and they also have my words are just leaving my mouth. They are a team that does go ahead and provide great competition for Hammers, but I feel like still Hammers is just a little bit too strong in the sense that they have been playing already together for quite some time. I think it's been over a year, over 2 years possibly, that this team has pretty much stayed together. And I know Lucas isn't playing today, but they do have a very strong team that they're starting to be chipped away. So even though 4 Elements is probably not the team to beat Hammers, I feel that Skyrose is pretty much the team to probably do that after these matches, and that's if we get there. Now, Noxus, we see him bringing out that exceptional gameplay that you've been talking about from future tournament or from previous tournaments that he's come out in. But Average Guy 77, I feel like he is really the guy to look at. He is the guy that Hammers are trying to take down every single moment, because if he stays alive, he's able to get those kills onto Hammers.
Like, I know Temple is a bigger map, but I do kind of feel that 4 Elements aren't quite sticking together as much as they should have. They're still in the lead, don't get me wrong, although it's now tied up and it's gone over the Hammers. But this is what I'm talking about in terms of, we're a minute in and now Hammers are starting to rain down on the parade of 4 Elements. But I'm seeing that 4 Elements are just not as tight of a unit as Hammers. Hammers, even though they look a little bit further apart, they're actually a lot more synergized in their position and a lot more together than 4 Elements look overall. And we're seeing it, however, being turned in the favor of 4 Elements, as they are 11-7, up 12-7. Are my words being eaten, Sapphire?
Give me 1 second, because I am actually not in the game, so I have to join up.
It's cool. I'll just continue. Raining this down, it's 12-9 between these two teams. 4 Elements are just pushing on. They're trying to hold on to this lead. The ultimate was activated by Doomsday, and they're all hanging around it while it is still in position, providing that level of zoning. They got another kill. They're 4 kills up with 1 minute to go. This general kill feed isn't as high as you've seen in previous games, but 4Elements, they don't care, because once you're in the lead, that is the most important thing, as it is 15 and 11 over to them with 50 seconds to go so far.
Definitely. Oh my god, they're just about narrowing lead. Hammers, Billy the Kid ends up taking Average Guy and Doomslayer, and Elsif himself ends up taking quite a bit of teammates from Hammers. So from 4Elements. Okay, so right now here we have the scoreboard. Elsif only with 2 deaths, Billy Kid with 7. Average Guy has 3 deaths, and again, he is definitely the guy that you want to go after. You do not want to keep him alive.
Yeah, so the airstrike was rained down. That has helped actually to put Hammers in the right now. Doomslayer, along with Imperial, trying to stay alive. Hammers with 10 seconds to go. They are 1 kill up against 4Elements. Come on, Equal Stevens. Come on, get that final kill, 4Elements. You can do Hammers, you've got the lead. 2-1, 23 to 21. Hammers take this second game, but it was so close, Sapphire.
Oh my god. So I do apologize for not having the game up when it was up, but the last 10 seconds were pretty incredible. There's a back and forth action there, but Hammers ended up taking the lead by 2 points. Oh my god, that was so amazing to watch. And I have to relax a little bit. I'm a little like, woo. So I would say 4Elements is definitely a team that can take down Hammers. This was so close. And this game is pretty nice. Go ahead.
Like, I do think the map did kind of go over. Overall, it did actually was in the favor of 4Elements, even though I did point out initially that Hammers looked a little bit more together, but because that map is so open, 4Elements managed to just get that little bit of a lead, and then they did stick a bit more together. It was unfortunate that, the crunch point was that airstrike that rained down onto that open temple land, which knocked down and took down a couple of 4Elements guys. But I also feel that maybe 4Elements have kind of, they got so close to winning that second game that maybe it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we're not going to win this third game. So if they can bounce back from that close loss, then yes, I reckon they can take out Hammers. But if they're as dejected as potentially they could be, then this could be a bit of a run through for Hammers Esports.
Most definitely, and I do feel that we are going to be seeing that on the side of 4Elements, because they have gotten a taste of blood. They made Hammers bleed. They made them feel a little bit uncomfortable, giving them such such an immense fight. So this is pretty good, and I know 5 seconds to go, and it is all yours, Imperium. Take it away.
Yeah, it needs a weak armed spaghetti. As we do see, this game is getting started. Hammers Esports starting off strong, getting the first blow, but it's being returned fire by Average Guy 777 onto Billy the Kid. LCF going in strong to get that kill, and is just about able to stay alive, diving in between those areas just to really protect himself. Fantastic play coming out from him in the first minute or so. This is 5-0, 6-0 over the side of Hammers. This is what I feared, Sapphire. 4Elements, they got so close in game 2 and they couldn't get the job done. This game 3, they just seem to have lost all momentum.
Definitely played a mind game with Hammers. Definitely played a mind game with 4Elements, maybe giving them that little bit of taste of blood, but then very quickly taking it away. It's a 9-3. We do see Noxus on the Venom, and it's providing enough coverage for his teammates, but it's just not doing enough. Like, Hammers is definitely picking out almost all of the players, and Spiral takes out Elsif, and then so does Average Guy take out the Billy the Kid, and this is just a lot. This is a bloodbath. It's a nice bloodbath that we definitely want to see.
It's 11-5, and gotta give credit to 4Elements. They went like so many kills without, so many deaths without getting a kill, that they have managed to bring it back a little bit. But now this is 14-5, 14-6, 15-6. This is absolutely crazy. Kills being traded left, right, and center. 4Elements, they are sticking together pretty well, but I've got to say the loadouts with the rocket launchers that coming out from Hammers, they're able to shoot from a distance, and 9 times out of 10, most of the shots are connecting. As we do see right now, Devoted is absolutely on fire with that loadout.
Definitely. Also, Copters has been getting a couple of kills, and it seems as if Hammers is just punishing 4Elements for their insubordination and trying to take the crown from them. So they are being silenced. We go ahead and have an airstrike. It didn't really get anyone on the side of 4Elements, and I'm starting to think that maybe 4Elements is being they're probably sticking too close together. They really need to spread out. They need to take out, the guys in the back of line. But Hammers is presenting a very formidable front line that's just not giving them a single chance.
Well, we saw initially 4Elements form together in the middle of the pack, but the issue is that the benefit of that is that yes, they were able to go around the ultimate, but the issue is that Hammers actually went at them from both the left side and the right side, so they actually pinched 4Elements, and that's something you've really got to be aware of. You don't give your opponents that kind of space. You don't give your opponents that amount of time to really push in on you, as we are seeing with 10 seconds ago, 27-18. Hammers are looking to just close out this game 3, continue their run in this Coda Pro Scrims, and they will take it the series 3-0 and move on to face Skyrose.
Definitely. We have Skyrose coming up next, but I just want to make one quick point. Maybe 4Elements, they definitely, gave Hammers a run for their money. First couple of matches in the first moments of the game, but this just feels a little, I don't know. They stayed together, and I do feel that they should have separated out a little bit more, because Copters on that Havoc was providing what's it called, secondary damage to the team. So then, another teammate can come in, the frontliners could come in, you would see Elsif pick off the remaining team. So I'm thinking maybe a little bit more spread out. I think it was great in the beginning, but it didn't work for them throughout the entire game.
Like, you just don't give Hammers a chance to get back, to stay in the game, right? Yeah, more for occupying mid when you are heavily ahead and the opponent is fearing you, but when Hammers were already ahead in that game, therefore they technically had nothing to lose by being aggressive. You don't let them be aggressive. You got to pinch them. You got to force yourself onto them. You got to push them back as much as possible so you can get as many kills, because at that moment you kind of have nothing left to lose from that point of view. So 4Elements, I just don't think they played the element of the game to their strengths, no pun intended. And yeah, they got to give them credit though. In that series, they gave us the closest game we've had yet, and they pushed Hammers further and further than we've seen in a while. But when you can't finish the job, when you can't get it done, hey, look, you can't get it done.
No, but I still think that 4Elements with more practice, with a little bit more team synergy, and I definitely think that just as FieryTale, they're going to be very strong contenders in future tournaments. Now, we do have Skyrose coming up next, and Seeker is actually going to be playing this game. He was going to be swapped out and subbed in for Houdini, but he's actually going to be playing. Now, Seeker's a guy that you do not want to give any long distance weapons to, so you don't want to give him the Havoc, you don't want to see him on the my mind went blank, on the Long Claw as well. He is mostly a backliner, and he is really good, I feel, at predicting where his teammates are moving. He is a god with that. Now, on these two teams, I feel that this is not Skyrose versus Hammers. I feel that this is Archer versus Elsif. Archer, he is a god when it comes to the Black Tusk and the Marauder. He is probably arguably one of the best frontliners in the game. And Elsif, again, he is a beast when it comes to predicting his enemy team's movements, and his positioning throughout the game is just insane. So I really do feel that this is probably a little bit pretentious of me to say something like this, but just keep an eye on both of them, because these two guys are great players.
True, but in saying that, it's a team game. So as much as I understand what you're saying about it being an Archer versus LCF, we will of course keep an eye, but it's not to take away from all the members of each team and how you gotta really complement each other, stick together, know when it's the right time to be aggressive, know when it's the right time to play passive. both these teams have a lot of experience. All of these players, either together or separately, have a lot of time spent on Armajet, and we want to see it come down to these 3 games. Can Hammers come back once again, win 3 games, and be on top of Dakota Mountain, or can Skyrose take that lead? Can they push Hammers off? Can they just go, bye, you guys are out of here, and we dominate Dakota Mountaintop?
I definitely think
have
that
a potential
Skyrose.
5 games.
I definitely think that Skyrose is the team that will beat Hammers. I don't know. I'm not putting all my eggs in the basket, right? But I do feel that Skyrose with Seeker. Well, Houdini's also a very great player, but with Seeker and Resin in the back line, and with Dracosan and Archer in the front line, this is definitely a team that Hammers has to show a little bit of respect and make sure that they definitely bring their A game. Take it away.
Well, RESPCT, find out what it means to me, because these times are going to find out exactly what is going to happen. Dracosan going in hard, but he gets taken out 2-1 in favor of Hammers in the first 10 seconds, as LCF and the rest of the Hammers team are just dominating the lower end of this middle of the map. Of course, we will have the double damage, and the invisibility will be spawning up in the next 15 to 20 seconds, but it's 4-2 in the favor of Hammers, 5-3, 6-3 right now, as they are just continuing on board. Billy the Kid get a kill after kill, 9-3. Archer picks up the double damage, but he does get taken out. It's open-ended. Copters picks it up as he does get the invisibility as well. This is 10-6.
12-7 now. So we see Hammers almost in a corner, but Skyrose isn't putting that pressure on them, so they're able to go ahead and free themselves from there. Oof, that was so nice. So,
I just love some of these shots that just come out. I love standing back and just
watching
it all
right?
in on what these players do to each other. 79. Skyrose not performing the way we kind of slightly expected. Hammers having a bit of an easier run. Devoted's ultimate did do a lot of work helping to secure the kill onto the side of Resin. But 21-11, 1.5 minutes to go. All Hammers need is 9 kills as the airstrike rains down supreme onto the side of Hammers. But they are just continuing to maintain this lead, Sapphire.
Now, I feel that Hammers is very strong on this map. And like I said, Seeker is definitely a player that you want to keep an eye out for on the side of Skyrose. And this map is a little bit more close-quartered. A lot of the longer distance rifles, weapons aren't making that good of an effort because, you can easily be picked off and just make a sneak peek out and boom, you are shot down by Hammers. 26-17, about a minute left to go. 4 kills away to give this Hammers is a game. Benji picked up the double damage after he was able to get a kill off of Elsif. But round is over.
Yeah, so we saw Devoted come out on top when it came to kill point of view. 12 kills, 6 deaths, 3 assists. That's a very solid KD for himself. And of course, follow up with Billy the Kid, 8 kills, Copter 6 kills, SEL 4. From a kill point of view though, I gotta say, Skyrose did have good kills. Like Benji had 7, and Archer had 6. But it's just the fact that they're just kind of dying too much. Whether they're not getting the right amount of support from the rest of their team, maybe they're just not as synergized as we've seen Hammers. But that is something that I do fear, that if they're not supporting each other enough, they're only forcing themselves into a position where they're losing these moments and losing these fights.
I felt that Skyrose, they had really good positioning off in the beginning, but they lost a little bit of footing there. And I think Hammers definitely capitalized on that mistake. They were able to separate the team. There was a moment where Hammers was the one that had their backs against the wall. But, Hammers just kept fighting Skyrose until they were able to pick off every single one of them, and they were pretty much let go. So Hammers, I think right now has a superior firepower. They know where they're shooting, they know where to shoot, and they're picking off the right teammates at the right time, freeing the way for the rest of Hammers to just take off everyone else. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and join the room real quickly. I hope that you are in, and we can go ahead and start the next.
Yeah, I'm just joining it myself. It was taking a little bit of time. I had a bit of a bug, but I'm in. This is going to be Temple. This is going to be game 2. This is the last series or last series of games? Is it going to be Hammers that are continuing their ride in Armajet Esports? They're just continuing to dominate these Coda Pro Scrim Gauntlet events, or is Skyrose going to be able to knock them off the mountaintop? First game, of course, as we just saw, Hammers really came out overall swinging. Devoted was a playmaker to kill the fragger for his side, but Skyrose, there's potential there. They just need to be a little bit careful, play a little bit safer, and make sure that they have that level of support. I know you want to come up against Hammers swinging and you want to push them further, but if you're not doing that as a four-man unit, as a four-man team, it's not really going to work out. Of course, Temple, it's more open-ended, Sapphire, so you know, you're able to be a little bit out of position, but you still want to stay as a unit. You still want to support each other and pinch your opponents as much as possible.
Now, do you feel that maybe, I know we're probably going to see a lot of long-distance ranged weapons here, but I feel that, you know, we do see a little bit of Black Test coming out, and really the kid just flew off the map there. I think he's going to go search for that treasure. But I don't know. I feel that Skyrose, if they play too defensive, I don't feel that they're going to be able to land the shots onto Hammers, because Hammers to me is a team that can play both offensively and defensively within moments. They can switch it up. I haven't seen another team, perhaps, what's it called? Perhaps, I forgot the team that played in last weekend's tournaments in 4Elements tournament. My mind is going blank. I'm sorry about that, but they're the only other team that I have seen be able to adapt very quickly to the enemy. So I feel if Skyrose is too defensive, I feel like they have to throw in some offensive moments there. Yes, play cautiously. Yeah. Keep your distance, stay safe, be there to support your teammates when you need to, but capitalize on the moments. If you see a Hammers out by himself, go rush him. Go kill him, because he is definitely going to try and kill you back.
Yeah, and I definitely agree, but that's why I kind of say positioning and sticking as a team is going to be more important, because when you do stick as a team and you have that positioning right, when you see the Hammers player caught out, you're able to jump on him, you're able to kind of have that man advantage. But if you're out of position and you're not together as a team, and it doesn't matter if Hammers are out of position. You know, you're gonna get called out. So,
don't go and be a hero and take the guy off for yourself. No, tell your team, hey, there's this guy, I have the shot, support me, and make sure that they are there supporting you. That is probably the way to go, instead of, hey, look, there's a guy, let me go get him by myself, and boom, all of a sudden you have, you know, you're surrounded by Hammers and you're the one who's being picked out by themselves, you know? So I do agree with you. Definitely there has to be a lot of team synergy, a lot of team play. They have to play as one cohesive unit, and I do think that Skyrose is that team. I've seen them in other tournaments. They are amazing to look at, and I don't know. It could be that they're just a little bit scared, perhaps, now of Hammers, that they were able to beat. You know, mentally speaking, they did the first game do a little bit of damage to them mentally, in which, like, you know, kind of scaring them a little bit, perhaps. 10 seconds for the match to start.
Yeah, so we're gonna get started. Temple map game 2 in this best of 5 series. Our Hammer's gonna go one step closer. Can Skyrose knock them off their perch? We see straight away 1 kill apiece. Benji, Arthur, Dracozan dominating now the lower left hand side as this 3-man team. Archer trying to take the damage, trying to really soak it up, and it is turning in their favor, because Dracozan was able to push on forward and was able to help secure that lead. So it's 4-3 between the two teams, but Hammers are not afraid to go a little bit further. They're not afraid to really secure the equalizer, even potentially go ahead. But 5 kills apiece in the first 30 seconds, but Hammers do take that lead. A fantastic kill coming out by Devote.
Now, I'm seeing a lot of the backliners have and take the shields, and if you really want to leave these shields in this map to your front liners, so they can go in there and do that damage, because the backliners are the ones that are killing you. So you definitely want to take out the frontliners first. So you definitely want to give the shields over to them. Now, Dracozan picks up the double damage, and he better not lose it. And he also has invisibility, so he is a beast right now. So we will see if he's able to pick off anyone. And he is out in the open, and
But see, he had to.
He's gonna die. He's gonna fall. No. Taking the double damage with him, and his drone is stuck on the side. That's definitely not something that you want to see. It's pretty much a waste of an ultimate. 13-10. Hammers is in the lead.
You hate to see it suffer. You hate to see it dying down into the ground, falling to your death. But now it's 15-11. Is that just the epitome of what Skyrose are doing? Are they falling to their own death right now in this series? They're 5 kills behind. Archer has unlocked his ultimate, so that is able to help him right now, give him that level of advantage. They've gotten a bit closer. They're only 4 kills behind, but 1 minute to go. The airstrike rains down, and Skyrose coming back into it.
But not enough kills. 18-17 to take the lead. Now we do see this gameplay right here. Boom. Oh god. Okay. 18-18. 20-18. Less than a minute left to go. Still anyone's game. It's still close enough. I know that Skyrose could definitely go ahead and take out the win, and so Benji picks up the invisibility with the thunderstorm, but it's gone.
As soon as they get close, they just lose it. Now, they are getting a bit closer. The airstrike rains down. It doesn't put any connection onto the side of Hammers Esports. 24 seconds go. 25-23. Can Skyrose just stay in it? They're sticking together as a unit. They switch around. They try and catch Hammers out, and they do it. Even Stevens, they're 1 kill ahead.
10 seconds left to go. 25-27, 2 points in the lead. Can Hammers do it? It does. It seems too close, and it is in favor for Skyrose again. This is the team that Hammers lost to in the first week. The second week. Now, our Hammers, are they starting to lose their focus a little bit? They've already been pretty much playing for an hour straight almost. So, Skyrose, whew. Pretty exciting. Oh my god, I cannot contain myself. They definitely chipped away at Hammers, and they did a really good job. This was really, really close. This was great.
Yeah, that was a great performance. I didn't think they were going to get it done, but it was that last 15-20 seconds when, as a 3-man team, they actually jumped over from the left-hand side to the right-hand side and essentially caught Hammers out, and they put them forward. They put them really hard on the back end, and those swipe, the actual full-on team swipe, just turned it around in their favor. It was absolutely fantastic work by them.
I can't breathe right now. I need a moment to collect myself, because that was just pretty intense. Just cannot believe everything that's happening right now. I don't know. I think Hammers is definitely starting to be a little bit more shaky. You know, I was expecting them probably to take a little bit more of a stronger lead, but Skyrose did not give that on to them at all, and they were playing a lot better. They were definitely playing a lot better than the last game, and I don't know. This is really, really good.
Like, you know, for me, it's the fact that they were able to use the open terrain to dance around Hammers a bit more towards the end, and that kind of play is exactly what they need to do throughout this tournament, to be honest. And if they can do the same in this one, in this canyon, which is also similar in terms of open-ended, right? You're able to kind of dance around those high-end rocks. You're able to move around, go from one end of the map to the other. If they can do similar as a full team, yeah, Hammers can potentially be knocked off their perch once again. This is game 3. Skyrose took game 2. This is one game apiece in this best of 5 series. Who's going to come out on top? Hammers, Skyrose. We will, of course, find out as Hammers look to put a bit of pressure onto Skyrose. But Skyrose started off strong, getting 3 kills in the first 10 seconds, Sapphire.
Very strong indeed. They are providing adequate competition for Hammers right now, but Hammers, you know, they're surviving. They're basically closed. There's no more lead. It's 3-3. That's a tied game right now. Elsif takes the lead, killing 2. Wow, it's 7-3 now, taking the lead by 4 points. Devoted picks up the double damage. And I don't know, all of a sudden I feel that Skyrose is starting to lose their footing. What happened?
Nah, they're
you
not.
Look
at them, they're coming back into it. 9-5.
I feel like they're a little bit more scattered though in this game. They're a little bit more just, well, I don't know.
Not as together.
Yeah. Not as together. They're okay. They are together, and maybe that's what's doing a little bit of damage. But I don't know. I feel that they're not really playing together the way that they're supposed to with that synergy. A little bit
Yeah,
more.
no, I overall agree. And also, when you look at the fact that, oh no, Archer just get that 1v1 against Devoted, but gets taken out straight away by Billy the Kid. And it's great to win that 1v1, but you gotta be able to make sure that you can go back, that you can backpedal, that you can stay protected. 19 and 9 as Copters is just on fire right now. As he's on 4 kills, Billy the Kid is on 8 kills on the Hammer side. 19 to 12, but a minute and a half to go. Overall, I very much agree with the Sapphire. Skyrose, they are not playing as strongly as a team in this current game.
They did great in the beginning, but they definitely, I don't know, there was a couple of moments that Archer did get caught out and he was basically struggling. I know, he saw Hammers going to the right side of the screen and he goes left, and sure enough, there is a member of Hammers just waiting for him. Billy the Kid is on the Venom. He's doing sufficient damage, but he gets taken out by Dracosan. Dracosan releases his drone.
Elsif has the double damage, so that's going to help him. 26 to 17 with 48 seconds to go. Billy the Kid does look to get swiped out, but it is a return favor as Elsif secures a kill on Archer. 28 to 18. This is a little bit more confident play coming out from the side of Hammers Esports. They're 2 kills, 35 seconds to go away from closing out this round and putting them ever closer to staying on top of Dakota Mountain. One more kill.
One more kill and it's
happen.
Their game. Boom.
Yeah. Man.
So Elsif gets that last kill on to Ben G. So you see, in the middle of the game, definitely they lost a little bit of their composure. I feel Skyrose lost a little bit of their composure. I feel against Hammers Esports, but they were bringing it back. They were able to get a couple of kills, but just not enough. It was a little too little, too late for them to secure the game. And I definitely want to see the Skyrose from the previous game come out, a little bit more team synergy and bombardment towards Hammers.
Yeah, like, I thought Skyrose were going to play a bit more together considering it was a bit of a similar map to Temple.
Mm-hmm.
But they just slightly fell apart, and they took too much of a hit in the first minute and a half or so that they couldn't really get back from. And at that point, Hammers just kind of stayed in that dominant, area and just had stay continuing forward and just doing what they were doing. Some great shots overall coming out from Hammers Esports as a team. Billy the Kid was absolutely fantastic for a side in that last game as usual. But hey, look, this is a new map. This is the first time we're actually seeing this map in this week's quota. So Snowbase is going to be played. We are getting started. Much different compared to Temple and Canyon. How will these teams adjust? How will their playstyle pay off? Right now, it seems like Dracosan does get taken out, and it's a 2-0 lead going straight over, or 2-1, 3-1 in the favor of Hammers.
This is definitely a lot more close-quartered map. I feel that Skyrose definitely has a little bit of a disadvantage because they have such great backliners that aren't able to secure those long-distance shots. But if you're positioned in the right place, you're able to pick out members of Hammers when they're peeking themselves. 6-6, tied. 30 seconds into the game. 7-7 now. And it's still anyone's game.
I think this is kind of map that where team play and team synergy really pays off, because you generally get very close to your opponent very quickly. So if you're together as a 3 or 4 man team, you're more likely going to be able to follow it up with a support kill on your side. And Skyrose are kind of doing that overall a bit better compared to Hammers. In the 1v1 open area, they're actually getting the better of them, and they are 4 kills up in this 4th game. So right now, they're really actually taking control of this series, and this is the strongest lead we've seen Skyrose put in all series Sapphire.
Definitely. Now, I'm wondering if Hammers is probably a little bit more tired, perhaps, since they've already been playing a few games
True.
prior to this game with Skyrose. But I feel like Skyrose is definitely in the perfect spot at the perfect time, taking out Hammers. Their strategy, whatever it is going on right now, is working for them. So do not give any mistakes for Hammers to be able to capitalize upon them. 21-19 in favor of Skyrose, and just tied.
It's trading back and forth. That strong lead that Skyrose pulled out in the first minute and a half or so has been whittled down second by second as Hammers are just looking to crawl their way back. Drakozan is being fantastic, trading kill after kill for his side. Although you can't help but think that maybe Skyrose are slightly falling apart as a team for now. They aren't really as together as maybe Hammers are in the middle area of this map, but they're still holding on to this lead.
Definitely strong contention. Ooh, round over. That goes in favor for Skyrose as well. Resin with 11 kills, Devoted with 10. I don't know. I think Hammers is starting to fall apart. Actually, you know, and in game they are great. They're amazing, but I feel, you know, and I'm going to use this punchline or pun line, whatever you want. Skyrose is definitely hammering Hammers. Like, you know, they're chipping at them slowly. They're giving a great mental game. It's a nice lead. They're getting a little bit too comfortable. You know, Hammers comes up, makes it a tied game, and then Skyrose goes ahead and says, like, no. This is our game. Look, and takes the lead by 1 or 2 points. You know, this is just a beautiful game to watch.
Yeah, like I've got to give credit where credit is due to Skyrose. That strong lead, that's exactly what they need to do, right? That's really exactly what they needed to do. They needed to push, Hammers at the start to gain that lead to kind of really knock Hammers back. And even though Hammers did a great job of getting back into that game, you know, you can't help but kind of go, no, like Skyrose did enough where they just were trading kills, holding on to that lead, and it got a bit sweaty towards the end. At the end of the day, they close it out, and it is coming down to this last game. This is it. Winner takes all. Winner's going to come out on top of Dakota Mountain this week. No last chances. Going to come down to these two killer teams.
Now, this is the first game that we have that is taken to a game at 5. Now, respectively, Skyrose has done better on EU. Prior, though, they actually were playing against Hammers on NA. So we'll see how they do. So our next game is going to be on the NA server. And just a friendly reminder, guys, if you guys want a chance to win 100 Paragon, be sure to clip your favorite moments, upload them to Twitter, tag at the forgeleague for your chance to win. Go ahead and type in exclamation clip it for more information in chat. So this game, it's going to be NA. Skyrose, I don't know. Are they a lot stronger on EU? We'll see.
And we are on the moon base map. It's where it all began in the world of Armajet, and it's where it's all gonna go down in this third week of Coda. As I said, is it gonna be Skyrose? Is it gonna be Hammers? I'm actually gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say Skyrose are gonna come out on top.
I am going to agree with you.
The reason why, my theory behind it a little bit is Moonbase is a little bit similar to Snow map, so Snowbase. So I think that is going to overall favor Skyrose, and if they perform the same way they did in that last game while sticking together, yes, I think they'll come out on top. But of course, there can be a lot of surprises. We are getting into the start of this game right now as Skyrose. They start in the middle, they're pushing forward, doing exactly what they need to do, but they get swiped out as Hammers take a 3-0 lead, a 4-0 lead, not the start Skyrose wanted.
Wow, 5-1, 15 seconds in. Hammers is definitely paying attention to Skyrose, and I don't know, maybe they were taking a little bit of a relaxed break to gather their strength and come out fighting in this one. Either way, it's a great game to watch. 6-2 in favor of Hammers.
7-2 as Elfie is just absolutely blew apart Archer. in that rocket launcher shot as 8-2 in the favor of Hammers. They're holding on, they're playing passive because their loadout is very much on the single shot target, right? So they're just holding back. They're essentially kiting. They're kiting Skyrose towards them, and that's exactly what's getting them the killer shots. Because look at these long range shots coming out from Hammers Esports. It's beautiful.
Definitely. They are capitalizing on that open space and all of those weak points that you can probably take advantage of on this map. There's very few openings, and Hammers definitely knows their map awareness extremely well. Sometimes I feel like they're just probably shooting up into the air, and they feel and pretty much know that someone's going to be on the receiving end when they shoot out that rocket from the Havoc. So great game so far, 13-6, a minute and a half left, 15-6 now. It's just absolute bombardment on the side of Hammers.
Has a 1.5 minutes left to go. This is 18-6. This is not the Skyrose we saw in the last game, guys. Come on, you got a minute. You can pull it out. I believe in you guys. Maybe the caster curse came through, as we both did slightly agree that Skyrose could come out on top. But right now, we are being proven very heavily wrong, as Hammers are just turning around and going, no, we gave you guys a chance. We let you guys take 2 games, but now you're not gonna overtake our place on top of Dakota Mountain this time. Try again, boys and girls. 26-10, 27-10, 3 kills, 45 seconds to go. I'm pretty confident that Hammers are just gonna close this out with 1 more kill. Will they be able to get it done? It's a double damage, gets picked up. Resin trying to survive. Arthur trying to survive, gets a kill. Is this going to be the turnaround? 29-15 with 30 seconds to go. They're hanging on in there, Sapphire.
Definitely are. They're fighting for their lives. 20 seconds. It's probably not enough, but they are not handing any deaths over to Hammers. Ooh.
But time's running out, right? They've got 10 seconds. That's Elsie. A final blow on the Benji. Game 5, and the series going over to Hammers. And they win this week's Coda.
Hammers remain the kings of the arena. So this was week 3, and Hammers again takes it all. It wasn't a clean sweep as it was in the first game, and I'm wondering if next game series, I wonder if they're going to start losing more. It seems like a 0, 1, 2, 3, and it seems to be a very steady build-up week after week. So are Hammers starting to falter? Can a team like Skyrose and 4Elements come back next time and say, guess what? It's time for us to be the true kings of the arena.
Well, you know what they say, Sapphire, to be the best, you've got to beat the best.
Yeah.
That's every single team's aim right now, is to take down Hammers Esports. They're a strong side, but they're not indestructible, right? They're not invincible. They have chinks in their armor, they have weaknesses. You expose them, you take advantage of them, and like we saw Skyrose do, it took 2 games off, but hey, look, at this moment, at this time, they just couldn't get the job done. Not saying they won't be able to do it in the future.
Now, just a little bit of food for thought before we close up the game. Do you think that maybe Hammers gave away these 2 games to Skyrose?
No.
Not necessarily just give them away, but just to kind of like gather their strength so that they can full force? Okay, good. So I do feel that Skyrose is a very, very strong team. It's strong enough to beat Hammers on certain maps. Yes, now the region also depends if you're playing on EU and NA, but I still feel that Hammers is definitely a very strong team to go up against Hammers Esports. So this is pretty exciting. Guys, don't forget to clip your favorite moments and be sure to upload them to Twitter and tagging at the Forge League for your chance to win 100 Paragon. So the best clip will go ahead and win that 100 Paragon. Go ahead and use exclamation clip it and for more information. So it was an absolute pleasure to be hosting alongside you, Imperium. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today. I'm getting a little bit of resistance from my mic, I'm thinking, so sorry about that.
No, I think it's just from my end because Discord and the region is Central Europe and you're in America, so it's just sometimes but from a stream point of view, I'm sure it's fine because you're streaming from your end. It's just me, so yeah, that can happen, but no, absolute pleasure to cast this event and to be able to bring some Armajet action, of course, to work alongside yourself. And I hope people enjoyed it. As I said, I'm not the most knowledgeable on Armajet. I understand gaming, I understand a bit about how to work as a team and how to really kind of get the best of a situation. But these players are all absolutely respectable. I have a lot of admiration for every single player that's playing out on these games, and I do wish you all the best of luck from that point of view.
Thank you so much, Imperium. We are going to be taking a break next week, but Sean will be back with me in 2 weeks, I think around the 20th. The 21st. July 21st. Thank you so much, Imperium. There is no quota next week, just a friendly reminder, and Sean will be with me. Sean, you were missed. But Imperium, it was definitely an absolute pleasure to be hosting us aside you. Now, pilots, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, Imperium, I know that you have one more thing to say regarding a bet that you and I have made. Might as well take it up then.
So, you know, me and Sapphire, we're friends, and the intention is hey. The intention down the line is I'm gonna go over to America and visit a couple of people like Sean and Sapphire, and we have this bit of a friendly challenge for Twitter follower amount. We're both kind of, you know, aiming to reach 1,000 Twitter followers, and our bet is the first person to reach 1,000 Twitter followers gets to do the other person's makeup. And obviously it'll be recorded and put out as video. So, if you want to support me,
do not follow him.
Go ahead of Sapphire. You can follow me on Twitter at EVT_Imperium. I promise I come with interesting tweets, interesting interaction, and being Irish, a lot of potatoes. So if you want to follow the good stuff, feel free to hit that follow, and of course give me a chance to do Sapphire's makeup, and might be able to actually make her look good for once. Who knows?
Oh, thank you. And if you guys want better content and just greater overall experience on Twitter, go ahead and give me a follow. I am Sapphire on Twitter, and give me a chance to finally, I don't know, put this Irishman in place. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. It's just a lot of fun. Definitely thank you guys as pilots for tuning in and watching. Have an incredible week, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.